Hey guys, it's Jules Draws, and today I'm gonna be showing you the Rook x Lucanis time-lapse. This is going to be a video where I am commenting and kind of explaining what's going on in the time-lapse, because in my stream that I literally just did today, my lovely chat told me I should add some commentary and kind of explain what's going on in the drawing, and I've been wanting to do that for a while now. I just didn't know what to talk about. So yeah, I have no script, I have nothing. This is going to be from the top of my head, just to keep that in mind if I say a lot of uhs, and yeah, that's why. My overall process as I am planning and kind of thinking about this drawing is that I really wanted to give kind of like a homey vibe. I'm pretty sure the region where Lucanis is from, which is also the region my Rook is from, Antivia, is kind of based off of Italy, France, almost. I think it's more Italy, but I could be wrong. Hold on, let me search that up. Okay, I searched it up. Antivia in the Dragonage universe is a fictional nation that draws inspiration from both Renaissance-era Italian city-states like Venice and pre-modern Spain. That's what I was thinking about. Not France, sorry. Spain. Spain. Drawing Lucanis was really hard for me, mainly because I don't really draw beards. I don't draw men specifically, but bearded men is almost unheard of for me. So in this piece, it was really hard, and I tried my best. Would I probably go back and fix Lucanis? Yeah, I probably would. He just, I don't know, I think he just looks a little bit off. Maybe I would raise the position of his eyes just a little bit more, but I don't know. Should I change it? Should I just leave it be? When I'm working on Rook, I had a really hard time with her lips. Usually most of the time, I don't have a problem working on my Rook, but just these damn lips was so annoying to figure out. And I think it's mainly because I was trying to kind of give off the same vibe as the original base did, which I think in the original reference slash base photo that I didn't use, I used my mannequins, but they're smiling. The base is smiling. Believe it or not, one way I express myself is just by drawing the most stupidest little emojis ever. Or, you know, when I do draw, I typically draw in a voice call with my friends, and I watch them game, like just play a game, or I'm watching something on my own. So that little sketch you saw with the ... that was a sketch that I made because my friend was playing Secret of the Mimic, and he was kind of bad in it. Roberto, that was a diss on you, bro. Drawing Rook's hair, I don't know, I have like a love-hate relationship with it. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't, and believe it or not, this isn't technically the right way to draw the hair, because I think in game the hairstyle that I used for Rook is more shorter, and I don't know, maybe like more wavy than it is curly. I think I did change it up and drew it more accurately but longer in my newer art series of Dragonage characters. And yes, another Roberto diss. I don't know why, but lately doing line art is actually kind of satisfying a little bit to me. I know there's a lot of artists on, I think specifically on TikTok, but probably in general, that really hate doing line art. And don't get me wrong, I actually hated doing line art before, but I think what really matters is the brush you use. And I've seen some other artists say, oh, the brush doesn't matter, but I think it does. I think the brush, it matters if you like it. If you don't like the brush, of course you're gonna hate line art. But I really do like my brush because it's more of like a sketchy brush. It's a texture that you would get if you're like actually sketching on paper, probably with like a mechanical pencil, and that is why I really like it, and it's a great way for me to add texture on an art piece. Oh lord, do I have many complaints for the background. I guess, you know, I can't win. The line art was, and just the line art in making the clothing was so easy, so we gotta make it complicated with the background. This background was just so hard finding references of this, like Lucanis's room in the game. There was barely any photos of that on like Google, so I literally had to re-download Veilguard and then go specifically to his room. So this screenshot that you're seeing is literally a screenshot that I took from the game in that moment. I think I waited 30 minutes for it to download and just get into the game. So yeah, this background, do I like it? I think I do like it. I went in depth about this particular topic in my Solus X Lavellin timelapse that will be releasing September 1st. I draw the whole background, even if it's going to get covered up by the characters. Why? Because I have a tendency to change the positions of the characters and move them around. So when I do, and then when you move it, there's just a whole blank white spot in the background, you're like, ah, shit. You have to go back and you have to color it in and make it look like it matches with everything else, and it's such a pain in the ass to do. So it's just easier for me, and it's a good like process shot to just draw it all in once, just like all in one go. It's easier. It is annoying, it's very annoying, but it's just easier for me. you're gonna hear me say this a lot. Think smarter, not harder. Yes, I 110% copy and pasted the wall and the floor because I've already done it. Why the hell am I gonna redraw all of that? Redo all of those textures? Yeah, no, not doing it. We have, there's digital art for a reason. You know, if you can use those tools, use them. Do it. Trust me, it's going to just save your brain. It will. It really will. Okay, you might be wondering, why is there so many like pots and like boxes of fruit? Well, Lucanis kind of lives in the pantry in the game. And you might be asking, why? Why does he do that? Well, I think in his words, he says that he just feels safer in tighter spaces because he knows how to control them because he is a assassin. So, you know, it kind of makes sense. So whenever I have a definitive light source, I use this website called, let's see, what is it called? It's from ArtStation, and it's a tool that this guy named William, I'm not gonna say that last name, but it's a light source tool that can kind of show you using a head how light hits a face through different angles, and it's really, really useful. It's been really helpful. I'm gonna put the link of it in the description because oh my god, it's so useful. And I haven't liked this. Why haven't I liked this? I don't have an account. Oh, it's gonna make me have an account. That's why I don't have it liked. But yes, it is extremely useful. It helps me a lot with a lot of my pieces because having a light source and then correctly coloring it or coloring your piece to the light source is really, really beneficial. And you know, sometimes I fuck up. Sometimes I forget to add shadows, and that's okay because I think at the end of the day, anyone who is not an artist doesn't really see those small details that we as artists do. But I still tried my best to have my values and grayscale fit the way the light would hit a person's skin. And a little bit of a backtrack, but you might have saw me doing the blush. If you look closely enough in the final photo, it's very texturized, right? Yeah, I used my line art brush, the same brush that I said is very sketchy when you're like kind of using a mechanical pencil on paper. I just enlarge it and then I put it on top of the cheeks as a blush because it really gives a nice texture, and I really like using texture in my art. I don't know why, I just really do. The rendering and coloring is what really saved, in my opinion, Lucanis for me. I think if I didn't render this piece correctly, it could have gone completely differently. Yeah, now I'm just working on rendering or like drawing the clothing, which is another one of my favorites. I love rendering. I love rendering clothing. I love seeing the before and after, like before I do all the coloring on it and then afterwards. It's another guilty pleasure of mine, and I think my list of guilty pleasures is adding up. I know I just said the rendering is what really saved Lucanis, but no, it's that damn beard. That beard really saved Lucanis. If I didn't draw the beard on him, I would have tweaked because Lucanis needs that beard. Again, just Lucanis. Lucanis was so difficult. I struggled with his beard, I struggled with his face, I struggled with his hair, I struggled with his freaking room in the background. Out of all 4 of just the dragonage ships, like out of Alistair, Fenris, Solus, and Lucanis, Lucanis is arguably the most difficult drawing. And even looking at other like artists and seeing how they drew Lucanis, that didn't really help because he's such a like interesting specimen of a man. Like, oh man, if Lucanis was a person, I would definitely be dating him, but that is for another story. It's just he has a different look out of all four of the protagonists, not protagonists, but like characters that I romanced. And it's really hard. It was hard for me to draw that and just show that. But yeah, if I had the chance, I would definitely raise the eyes. Definitely. At this point, I was really fed up with this entire drawing. I was fed up with the background. I was fed up with Lucanis. I wasn't fed up with Rook, but like, it's just, when you get to a point in a drawing, you're like, can this just be over with, please? That is how I felt. Now, at this point in the drawing is where I feel like it brings everything together. It's when I'm coloring all of the different pieces of like line art to actually fit the drawing. Like the skin, I'm changing it to a darker tanner color so it just looks better, and that is literally the saving grace for my art. It looks so nice. And obviously I'm doing the lighting. Lighting is a godsend. Love it. I did make a little meme, but yeah. Well, that is all for this video. Thank you for watching all the way. Please give me a like and subscribe. And if you like these kinds of drawings, let me know. Bye!